Hello guys, and welcome back to another video, and it's going to be another video on the BMW E60 5 Series today, and it's actually going to be a little bit of a different one. So I have just arrived at Midlands Vehicle Diagnostics, and I'm going to be meeting Jazz today, and we're going to be doing some work on the E60. So ever since I bought the car, one of the issues that I wanted to kind of correct was the maps. So obviously I have the CIC iDrive unit. It has satellite navigation, but the maps are very outdated. They haven't actually been updated since 2008, and you're supposed to be able to update the maps via a USB. If you pull off the FSC code, you can then just download the maps onto the CIC unit itself. But you actually can't do that when it's on the original firmware. You actually have to update the CIC to the latest firmware. So essentially that is what I'm going to get Jazz to do. Now hopefully he'll be able to do it via the laptop, right here, right today. But there may be a chance that he actually has to remove the head unit itself and go ahead and do it on the bench, and then just send it back to me in the post, which obviously won't be an issue. But we're going to be doing obviously what is the safest option, because at the end of the day I really don't want to end up frying half of my modules. So I'm sure we're going to be choosing the best option possible, the safest option essentially. But yeah, pretty excited. Like I said, I haven't really been able to use the maps in all honesty, because they're so outdated. Half of the roads are not even on there, or half the roads are missing. So yeah, it'd just be good to have nice updated new 2020 maps again. But yeah, pretty excited now. I guess we'll check in when we get cracking. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay then, so we are here now, and we actually have everything set up and ready to go. So Jazz, you just want to explain what's going on at the moment then?
Yeah, so we've basically got the car hooked up to our 70 amp charger just here to maintain the voltage. Obviously when we're programming, we don't want the battery voltage to go too low, otherwise it could interrupt the programming process. We've got everything hooked up obviously to the mains, so whether it be the laptop as well as the charger as well. Inside, as you can see, we've got the OBD hooked up to our ICOM device, genuine ICOMs from BMW. And we've also got the most port down here hooked up as well, because when we're programming the head unit, it requires it to be done through the most port on there. All hooked up to the laptop and all hooked up to the chargers, ready to go. So what's happening right now is we're just connecting to the vehicle, getting all the information about the vehicle on here. So you can see VIN number, etc., odometer value, the paint code, everything like that. It pulls it right from the from all the modules in the car, and it tells you on here what the last software update was on the vehicle, or what's currently on there, and model, etc., of everything on there.
And this is what program's this?
This is ISTA-P, the program inside of it. So this will allow us to program the head unit. So we've ran into a bit of a hiccup with this unit, so we're unable to proceed with doing the update via the laptop and using it through the OBD port, because it could potentially cause the head unit to get bricked or be unusable, and that's something that we don't want to do. But we have got another solution for this, where we can actually physically take out the head unit here and program it on the bench, which means it's out of the car. And
it's a lot safer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot safer, and it just means that we can maintain the voltage in the car, well, voltage on the unit better, and have everything programmed directly to the unit without it interfering with anything else. Obviously, things don't go the way we want it all the time, but that's why we have these other ways of fixing it. So that'll be the best solution, obviously, for yourself and for the unit itself in terms of getting it fixed. the other great thing about having it done on the bench is we can also update the maps. As you can see, they're currently on 2008-2.
Yeah, that's the original maps that has never been updated.
Never been updated. So we'll and the software in the car is the original one from factory as well. So once the kit's been updated to the latest software, we can also update it to the latest maps, which is currently 2020-2, and have the correct FSC codes put on and enabled. So when this unit comes back to yourself, it will be fully plug and play. So like I said, we'll be physically removing this unit here, and when it comes back to you, just slot it straight back in and it'll fire straight up and it'll be as new.
Brilliant. Okay then, so when it comes to the removal of the head unit, first thing is first, just have to remove this trim panel here with the vents in. I'm sure there'll be an electrical connector on the rear that goes to the switches.
Just 2 screws here for the climate control panel. This can stay on, doesn't have to be fully removed.
Oh, okay.
We can just take off the 2 screws here. This panel will come off.
Yeah.
And then we have access to this unit here, and we can get hold of that. So we'll start from there. So that pops off.
Yeah.
We will undo these just to get more access to here. There's 4 screws, so we'll get them sorted as well. Know where you stand with them.
Yeah. So this trim panel has to remove as well, just to gain access to the screws.
4 screws are out. Just pops out.
Yeah.
And you can see all the
a lot of connectors on the back.
Yeah, just on the back there. So main is the quad lock. So we'll unclip her, and
that's the main power, isn't
it?
Yeah,
that's everything from there. The rest of them are going to be like your USB, your screen, and any antennas for radio, etc. on here. And GPS is the blue one. So we'll get these taken off. Pressing down just on here, it will lift the connector up from this side, and it will just allow it to pop out.
And there is the entire head unit removed. Like I said, it's quite a bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just the top part, but yeah, that's the hard drive and everything built into there. But yeah, that's the that's all that needs to be removed, isn't it?
Yep, that's
to do the programming.
Exactly.
To update the.
So we'll have a screen already set up, ready on the bench, so we can see, make sure it works okay. So your current screen can stay in there, or customer screen can stay in, and no need to take any of that out. And as you see in the process of taking it out, literally within about 10-15 minutes, that was all taken out, if not less than that.
Yeah, good to go now, I guess.
That's it.
And that's everything temporarily put back together, just for the time being, until we till Jazz sends the unit back to me. Okay then, so a few days has passed now, and I've actually got the head unit back from Midlands Vehicle Diagnostics, and here it is. Apparently the firmware has been updated to the latest one, and the maps have also already been updated to the latest one, which I believe is 2020-2. So I think all that's left to do is get this thing put back in the car, and it should be plug and play. So yeah, let's get outside, let's get in the car, let's get this thing installed. Okay then, so obviously you guys saw the removal of the head unit itself, and it's essentially just removing a few pieces of trim. You just need to remove this top panel at the top here. That just is held in by a few clips. So you need to pop that with a trim removal tool. Then I can go ahead and remove the climate control dials, along with this trim piece here, and then I believe I can remove this trim piece here at the bottom. So if we get our trim removal tool behind here, there we go. And I actually don't need to remove this all the way, as long as I can get this removed. I just need to disconnect these connectors, and 3. That's the climate control dials removed, and this little trim piece at the bottom here should just pull out. It hasn't been properly clipped back in anyway. But that's everything now removed, we can go ahead and reinstall our head unit to all of these electrical connectors. I'm actually going to go ahead and put all 4 of these screws in for the head unit. And my idea is that I'm going to go ahead and plug the climate controls back in, and then we'll give it a test just before we, you know, reinstall all of the trim pieces, because, you know, one thing we don't want is put everything back together all screwed in and we find out we've left a connector unplugged or something doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and yeah, just put these last 2 screws in for the head unit, and we can put the climate controls back in. Okay then, so now that we have the head unit all plugged back in, I think we have the screws for the head unit screwed back in as well. Obviously we still have a few pieces of trim to put back, but I thought it'd be a good idea just to make sure that things are working as they should. So what I'm going to do is just put the ignition on, and as you can see, the iDrive has powered up straight away. And yeah, right off the bat, you know, I can't notice any differences. I'm sure there may be a few subtle small changes. I don't know, was that different? Was the vehicle information icon, was that maybe different? I'm not sure. I feel like that wasn't, those icons there wasn't there before this update. I don't know, could just be completely wrong about that, but yeah, let's try and delve into a few of the different settings. And yeah, nothing too different there. Vehicle information, let's have a look in here. No, also looks fairly the same. Yeah, no faults, that's what we like to see. Obviously the main reason why we wanted to do this update was for the maps. So I'm going to go into the maps and I'm going to go ahead and check which version we are now running. So we're going to go into navigation system version, and we have Roadmap Europe West Premium USB 2020-2. That is amazing. You don't realize how happy I am to see that. It's been 2008, obviously ever since I bought the car. It's never ever been updated, and it's meant that I've never been able to use the maps because half of the roads that you want to go down are not on the 2008 map. So to have the latest maps now, so to have the latest version of maps is honestly going to make the world of difference when driving this car. Make sure the sound's working.
Human rights organisation Amnesty International says it's been forced to halt operations in India because of the crisis.
I'm sure you can change that. Zoom mode. There we go. Yeah, so sound's working, that's all good. Yeah, I'm just really trying to see if there is any noticeable differences with the updated firmware. I'm guessing the main reason why it has been updated, you know, why there was an update is for, you know, for things like bugs, you know, little fixes, and to make things nice and smoother and quicker, which it definitely does seem a bit quicker. You know, you click on a menu and it's you know, right there, you know, straight away. There's no lag or anything, which is good. But yeah, to have them later maps, the latest maps, yeah, honestly amazing. I'm over the moon with that, to be honest. Okay then, so we have everything properly put back together now. Everything is looking nice and smart, and I've actually noticed a couple more new features in the navigation part of the CIC. So, you know, before, when I was on the 2008 maps, I don't think there was other maps for other countries. But now if we go ahead and select the country on the destination input, you can see that we literally have, you know, the maps for pretty much every country in Europe now, which which is pretty cool, I think. You know, look, we have the maps for the Vatican City, if in fact we wanted to go there. So this is going to be very, very handy, you know, if we want to do a Europe trip, which we do plan on doing at some point, probably next year now. But yeah, I don't think that was there before, but yeah, very, very handy thing to have. And the other thing is on the city / postcode input, before, when it was on the original firmware, for whatever reason, BMW made it where you could only input the first 5 characters of the postcode. Now this just made it a whole lot more hassle than it needed to be, because obviously you would input the first 5 characters, it would then jump a menu and you'd have to then search for the street that you wanted to select. But now with the latest firmware update, you can just input the entire full postcode, and then you can just select accept destination and it will take you directly there. Now I'm sure there'll be a few other small subtle changes as well. I'll probably need to really dive into it and, you know, go through every individual menu and see if there's anything changed. But, you know, just on them small little changes that I've noticed so far, I'm over the moon. Like I said, the main reason why I wanted this firmware updating on the CIC was so I could update the maps, because when you have maps that are 12+ years old, they are pretty much pointless, as we all know. Now that they are updated to the 2020 version, and now I can actually update them via the USB slot in the glove box, which I could not do before. The firmware needed to be updated to allow me to do that. So now in the future, you know, I can update the maps to, you know, the latest version, and, you know, it's pretty much future proof now. Okay then, so that is the update of the CIC iDrive now officially done, and I am honestly so happy now. I've been wanting to get this done now for over a year, ever since I got the car, because like I said, you know, when it came to using the maps, it was pretty useless, because, you know, when you have a car that's 12 years old and it has the, you know, built-in sat nav, you know, you can't use it. So I really just wanted to get this updated. You know, everything else in the car is pretty much up to date and, you know, as I want it, and this really was the last piece in the puzzle. I really just cannot thank Jazz enough from Midlands Vehicle Diagnostics. You know, if you do need any coding, programming, diagnostic work doing, you know, retrofits, anything you need with regards to that side of things, he is your man. You know, I will leave his details in the description box below. Do not hesitate to contact him. I get a lot of people on a daily basis asking me if I can do coding and programming and, you know, that side of things, and yeah, I really just don't have the time or space or the knowledge at the moment to, you know, to be comfortable doing that for other people. And so I'm just going to go ahead and recommend you Jazz from Midlands Vehicle Diagnostics. He is based in the Midlands. You know, he is mobile, so he can get pretty much anywhere in the Midlands. But he does do a lot of work remotely as well. So, you know, it is worth contacting him and see if he can get you in. It's not just BMWs as well. He's not just, you know, restricted to one vehicle manufacturer. He does work on a whole range of different vehicles. So if you do have any issues with your car, you know, electronically, maybe you want to have some diagnostic work done, or maybe you want to retrofit something into your car and it needs coding and programming, yeah, just don't hesitate to get in touch with him. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace!